Now watch it not work.
Oh my.
Hello.
Worth the wait. Worth
It's
the
me.
wait.
I'm the problem.
Oh, goodness
We
gracious.
love our problem child.
It's glorious.
I feel like I've been having a lot of tech problems lately.
Oh, you
But
and me both.
just so everybody knows, if your camera is not working, it is just F8 on your computer.
That's what it was.
That's not the problem today. But the last time it was F8. F8.
F8.
So simple. Yeah.
Press. I actually might need to know that. Okay.
It's very, very helpful information.
Love life.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Alicia.
Hello.
Hello, Gamer.
How is everyone?
I'm super.
Oh, super. I like it.
Oh.
Why are you super? Why are you super? Just kidding.
Because I survived this work week and I'm here with you. That's why
Aw.
I'm super.
Oh, I like it. Thank you.
Yeah. I look forward to this.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this also.
And me and Paige are. Oh,
Right.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, no! It's been a really hectic day.
Amy, you need
And
to
then-
change
and
your
then
shirt.
And I went to physical therapy after my first day subbing. I was telling Paige and Danielle, this is my very first day getting paid substitute teaching. Woohoo! And then I had to go directly to my physical therapy appointment. Then I had to come directly here. And I'm like, should I go change?
No.
I don't
Unless
know.
you want to. Unless it
I
would
know
make make you happy. And then go.
I do know where my shirt is.
Okay.
Okay. Should I do it?
Do you want to do it? Okay, she's going. That's it. She's going. Okay, bye.
It'll take a minute.
We'll stall. Stall. We're stalling. Bert's here.
Hi, Bert.
Hey.
Alicia can't promise to stay long because they still have 110 pages
Oh, no.
left. And this has been a low star, 3-star. Oh dear.
I understand. So what you're saying is you have not made it to the final 3 chapters, which I feel significantly redeemed this book. Keep
we
going.
hope that you make it there soon.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
What a good time. Where are you up to? Are you?
Hi, Leanna.
Whoop. Hello.
Not reading this series, but always love hearing you talk about books.
We can do a lot of talking.
That's a wonderful compliment.
Have not made it that far, but
we're waiting for Amy to go change her shirt,
so then she can be all matched.
Because matching. I keep trying to hold up the wrong shoulder because it's like a mirror image of me.
What are you currently reading?
Oh man. Okay. So glad you asked.
Oh.
I'm so happy. I'm like the happiest little happy. And Amy's got her shirt.
Amy's not changed.
We'll hold this up so Amy can see.
Woo!
Oh, I knew.
I know. I saw that on your TV. I was like, about time. It's about damn time.
I'm so excited. Yeah. I'm already like 70. I'm like 68 pages in already. I just started yesterday. I'm gonna knock this baby out.
60. You're gonna do great. You're gonna get into it. You're gonna get into it.
It's so cool. It's so different. I can't believe how different it is.
It's much different.
So different.
Yeah. It's still Robin Hobb's writing, but it's so different as far as the plot, the characters, because it's a whole bunch of different perspectives.
Yeah. Yes.
It's very different. Okay, I ran, but I'm here, and I'm official.
You're looking good. You're looking good. We like it.
Look at us all matchy.
Amy,
Oh wait, hold up your shirt so I can get a.
Okay, wait. Can we see?
Yes.
Amy, Leanna isn't even reading the series with us, but she just came to hang out because she likes to hear us talk about books. I love that so much.
Oh,
That
Leanna.
is sweet.
It's just, that's so, you're so
That's
sweet.
the warm fuzzies right there. I'm sorry.
That makes my heart so happy because I have not, yes, I'm excited for June so I can actually start getting back to BookTube.
Yahoo!
Yay.
I got to mute myself for 2 seconds. I just have a voicemail from my grandpa. So I'm just going to make sure he's okay.
We'll be fine. Don't you worry.
So how's your new job going? Is it going well? Everything going great?
Yeah, I'm settling in. I feel like I have a pretty good routine. I'm getting used to my sleep schedule. I get up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'm in bed by like 9:30. So that's new for me because I used to be a night owl. That's very new for me, but
how are you liking that new schedule?
it's okay. It's okay. I've gotten used to it. I have.
Okay.
It took a minute, but I'm doing much better.
Like when I could be consistent, I prefer waking up early.
Yeah. Oh,
but
I actually didn't even know I was a morning person until recently. Like, oh, I like the morning. Oh, I like to be up before everybody else. Oh, coffee? Okay. Less traffic? Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's.
Yeah.
I'm not a morning person. I've tried, but the idea of getting up early is horrendous.
I do like waking up early, but I don't usually get myself to sleep early enough, for it to be an enjoyable experience.
So my hours are 8:30 to 5.
Ooh, that's a long day.
It is a long day, and I get a half-hour lunch, but like, I mean, I probably get to my work about 45 minutes early because it's a 45-minute drive when there's no traffic. So I leave earlier to help me avoid some of that traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then I get home. I leave work at 5. I get home probably right around 6. So it's a long day, and it's 5 days a week. So it definitely I went from, like being a virtual assistant working at home. And prior to that, I had another office position where it was like 10 minutes to work. So this has been, it was a really big change, but
yeah,
it's good.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's good that it's good.
Yeah.
Alicia loves being up before everyone else, but then always stays up later.
Mm-hmm.
And so we feel that in ourselves.
That's rough.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless it works for you. Like,
Yeah.
Some people just don't need quite as much sleep either.
I don't get it.
Yeah, that's really something I've learned about myself is like I have to sleep.
Same.
I have to. I do not function on like 6 hours is not enough. I need like 7, 8. Yeah.
I've been getting 5 and 6 a lot lately, and I'm not doing as well health-wise because I'm not getting enough sleep, a lot more headaches, a lot more issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like
your body just can't recuperate.
Yeah. It knows. Oh, it knows. Yeah. My body's like,
I'm one of those silly people that feel like I either work best on 6 hours of sleep or 9 hours. It's like the normal 8 hours, the 7, 8 hours, not quite right. But if I'm running on like 6, I'm like alert because I'm so tired. I'm like, yeah, okay, we're here, we're going. And then if it's 9 hours, I actually feel well rested. But that also could be because I'm in sleep deficit that is going to take me another 60 years to get out of.
Oh, only 60 years.
My mom insists that is a myth. She insists that there is no catching up on your sleep. That's what she tells me.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to catch. But I could dream. I know that I'm in a sleep deficit and I'm never going to get out of that. But I try and convince myself that maybe one day we'll get there.
I like that you're trying.
Yeah, you know. It's just I fell asleep at my computer on Monday. Was that when I posted? Yeah. And I just like I still had my glasses on. They were pushed up to my nose. So I had a giant dent there. I was resting on top of my phone at my desk. And Ash just walked in because he's like done his little thing and he's like, woo, look at me. And I haven't responded. He's come in. I'm like, oh shit, are you okay? I'm like, what year is it?
That's when you know you woke up out of a dead sleep, when you cannot function like.
Yeah,
I'm
like
human?
when you forgot that your real life is your real life, you're like, oh, whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's deep sleep. That's deep sleep mode.
That was a solid nap.
Yeah, that's the worst to get stuck in.
So Alicia's comment about I don't sleep well most nights, but then when I get too tired, my anxiety is out of control. So I know that's a night I'll be passing out early. I found a new thing, and this is only like, and I'm not getting paid to promote this product. Okay, let's just throw that out there. I think I've tried this 3 nights in a row. I have the little like package here. This is by Moon Juice. Okay. And it's magnesium. I don't know. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's calm. Wait, what does it say? Very calm plus L-theanine, relaxation and sleep. And you guys, this has been knocking my ass out. Like hard, and it's like there's nothing. It's natural.
I take magnesium at night, like especially if I get like I get restless leg syndrome sometimes, you know, where my like you could just feel your nerves just shooting through your legs. If I take magnesium, it and then it makes me not sleepy, but it like relaxes me. Like I feel relaxed. And then when I go to sleep, I usually sleep better on those days. Magnesium's really good for sleeping.
Yeah.
Well,
super good.
I'm reaping the benefits over here because
it is good for sleeping.
I was taking like a tablet that was really hard for me to swallow, and I was like, it was just wasn't even worth it to me, you know? But like this, you just mix it in some water, which I need to be hydrating anyway, and it's fine. I'm fine with it.
And it works for, sorry, I was just saying, because my mom gets really bad Charlie horses at night, or like she's gotten really bad cramps, like, you know, leg cramps and stuff. Magnesium for leg cramps. Do it. It's so good. Yeah, I guess it is. This is promoted by magnesium.
Magnesium. Yep.
I take melatonin, which is supposed to help regulate your sleep cycle if you take it consistently at the same time every day. And then my psychiatrist put me on Catapress, which is meant for lowering blood pressure, which I have the blood pressure of an 18-year-old and I'm 28. So we're monitoring that quite closely. But it also helps with sleep and shutting your brain the fuck up. So it's like
is your blood pressure low then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it has been low, but this lowers it further. So we've got to be careful about it. Its main purpose is as a blood pressure regulator. But it helps to, when you've got that internal dialogue going, to shut that up. And so when I'm laying there after I've taken it, I sort of imagine like pulling a like night sky black thing over my head and it shuts up. And then I can fall asleep like almost instantly. And I'm like, oh. Because
I
as
like that sound effect.
that's not something I've ever been able to do. And since I was a young kid, like Mum was doing visualization strategies, which she didn't know that that's what it was, since I was about 3,
Because of just
because not being able to get to sleep and not sleeping well. And so it's always been a problem, which is why I'm like, I'm going to be 60 by the time I actually manage to get good sleep.
yeah.
But yeah, it's been so good. And I was having really bad headache. Like I think we were speaking about it at the last one. I was having daily headaches.
This has helped that. Good.
Hey.
Well,
I've
I
had
don't
one
know about
headache.
really good sleep at 60 page because then your body starts falling apart and then you start being restless.
Yeah.
And that's why you go to physical therapy, because you're having neck problems. So it's just one thing after the other. I'm telling you, it's just falling apart.
It was so I had a headache at work yesterday, and the social worker was sitting next to me just having a chat. And I've got a really bad headache. And she's paused, and there was just silence. And then, like, with your posture, I'm not surprised. I was like, shut the fuck up, Karen. I didn't ask for commentary. I was just stating a fact. Oh, sorry. I validate your headache. It's
That's just rude. That's just rude.
I pulled Ash out earlier as well because he called me out on my perfectionism. So I was like, shut the fuck up. I apparently wasn't wanting to be critiqued yesterday.
Today is not the day.
Do not mention. Yeah. But yeah, it was quite funny. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to come out as, like, not aggressively, but as forcefully as it did. So, sorry.
Oh, I like to use the word stern. I had to get very stern with one of my students today. And I was like, I haven't really lost my cool with my students yet, but today was a day where he just, like, it was the last time, I was like, no more of this.
X-ray on the shitty.
Yeah. So it was I can't hear you. It's so loud here. And I'm like, no, you heard me. And that excuse was used the whole day with the same, like, issues. And I was like, I know you heard me. Yeah.
Get your parents to take you to an audiologist if it's that much of a fucking concern.
Other than that, it was a great day. Other than the willful ignoring.
And they get like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're 5th graders. Of course they do.
Thank you.
Aren't we supposed to be talking about a book? What book? Book schmuck.
This is a catch-up chitty chat. Then we talk about the book. Right?
Yeah.
We haven't had
each other in a minute.
No, we don't get to do that often. The last day is the 16th. So next week I'm out of town, so I won't get to be with the kids next week. But I am actually going to be with them most of their last week of school, which is like the fun days. So it'll be fun because I just get to be there during the days when they do, like picnics and this and graduating or moving on to the 6th, middle school.
Bless them.
Yeah, so 16th, it's coming up. My school is done, though. Yesterday was my final day.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
My final assignment of all, of college. So, I mean, still have to do stuff like assessing my teaching in the next term, but my final actual, college assignment. So happy.
You're done.
So happy.
You've done it, mate.
Alicia, my kids were done last Thursday.
Oh, really? But they don't start until the very end of August. So they start August 30th or 31st. 31st. Yeah, they start August 31st.
Itching me. Oh my god. Okay, well, we're just going to use this.
Because your kids are going back sooner, right? Like towards the beginning of August?
It's usually August 20 something. Or, well, could be 17, 18. I don't know. I haven't looked actually. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, today. Oh, that's nice.
And I'm just like, I don't know when my school breaks up.
You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that.
Nope. Question in relating to Bone Season. Have you all sourced all the series? because I'm still waiting for my orders to come in, and now I'm like, ah!
I
think I only have the Mime Order.
I was just saying I need to order the physical copy of A Song Rising because I don't
Same.
have it.
Same. So no, not yet.
Good, excellent. I'm glad. I'll stop stressing.
That's not until August, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Whew. I'll get that soon. I'll make sure I get that coming.
Wait a minute. What?
Oh, no, it's July.
I was
Right?
like,
No.
do not make me wait until August.
I don't know anything right now. Didn't I just say my last day was yesterday? I know nothing. Don't trust a word. Don't trust a word from me. Yeah, July.
Okay, I'll start stressing again.
Well, we still got a whole month.
Yeah.
It's June. It's June, friends. I hope everybody's starting their buddy reads because I haven't.
Oh, fucking hell.
I did.
Oh yeah, I forgot your buddy reading that with Chaz.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Well,
I
good.
have read 5 pages.
5 pages.
That's it. I have not done the touchy touch.
Hey Paige, how many buddy reads do you have this month?
I don't know.
25.
An amount. It's actually not too bad.
Some. Yeah, but then you're supposed to be reading with Naomi. You're supposed to be reading all 3 of the Shadow and Bone series in 2 weeks.
Correct.
Which I think you both could do, but you'd have other books that you're supposed to read this month. So
yeah. And I've got Silence of the Girls with Mel. I've got Starsight with Liz. I've got Of the Wild for the Queer or Not book club. I also want to throw on Vengeful and Aurora's End for the Christopher Long and Schwab Along. And then I've got my big book and Book All Revisited plus a buzzword, and then the 4 remaining Animorphs.
And all
that's
that's
nothing.
in her
Hardly.
head.
It's hardly anything.
But are you still having fun?
What's that? I haven't felt that towards my reading for the past 3 months.
Oh no!
Except the Sebastian de Castell one.
True, that was fun. But that was also a buddy read.
Oh.
Like, it's just reading what the fuck I want. Who'll be that? She don't know.
I did kind of enjoy that the past 2 months.
My chaos.
Not gonna lie.
I read 5,800 pages last month.
Wow.
That's a
like, yeah.
That's like twice as many as most people read.
I've been reading a lot of big books lately, so I haven't been reading a lot of books, but I've been reading big books. This was a big book.
You like big books?
And I cannot lie.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what I thought.
I don't have a problem with big books. Some people have a hard time.
I have a problem with big books. I have a problem with selecting a big book from my jar and then putting more big books on my TBR after that. That's where I have a problem.
That is a problem.
On top of the 12 other things I have to read.
You need Colonel Mustard.
I do. That was nice, being able to take that one off.
It was really nice.
It was nice.
I was just like, yeah, no,
I was like,
not today.
Oh, that must be nice.
I made some new rules. It's fine.
Oh, I lied. I read a lot of books, a lot of big books in April. Not May. I didn't read hard. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. What were we saying?
We were going to talk about the Mime Order.
Oh!
Is that what we're here for? Okay, can I tell you something really, just really, really sad? It broke my heart. Okay. Paige, because this was a gift from you.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What did I
and
do?
my coffee fell on it.
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
You haven't, and I'm usually very good about, like, you know, I keep really good care of my books, and I was devastated.
Sandy's here.
Oh. That's okay. These things
I'm
happen.
sorry. I still love it, and I have, you know, little notes. It's from Paige in here, but
That's fine. It's
That
okay.
was
You know
really
I
what,
funny.
spelled
Amy? It
Chinese
adds
all over
character.
mine.
Huh?
Yeah. It adds a story. Hello.
Hey, Sandy.
And oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, coffee.
Coffee is for drinking, not spilling on your book.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I think I kicked my thingy that had my coffee on it, and then it went and wasn't fast enough.
Oh. That's okay. These things happen. Would you like me to get you a new one?
No,
Then it's all good. I don't
this one has
mind.
memories now.
It's so Paige. That was so sweet.
That's
How
very
does it-
nice of you.
How did that? Oh, these
I'll
are
just
because
get you a new one, honey.
I
No,
can do that. I can do that.
no, this one has memories now. Like you said.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
the character.
It's like building character there, book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
So about that.
this is going to be interesting because we have
varying opinions.
varying opinions.
Oh, what's new?
Oh, thank God. Sorry, I was placing an Amazon order and I thought it was being sent to the wrong place. So now it's going to be sent to the right place and I don't need to panic.
Glad to hear it.
Yes. So yes, the Mime Order. Very differing opinions, hey. Well,
Yeah. No,
I
you're
feel not
huge,
hugely.
but-
Not as much as fucking Mortal Instruments.
I think Danielle and I have the biggest difference in our opinions because you didn't like the first one, whereas Paige and I both like the first one, and I didn't dislike this one, but I'm giving it a 3.75 because it was a little rougher for me. I really liked
the
Shoal.
first one over
Huh?
the second.
Oh yeah,
correct.
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And you
I
really
prefer
liked
the
this
second
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
it was
just
great.
like everything.
You're so agreeable, Paige.
Uh-huh.
What did everybody
I
else give it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Paige. What were you gonna say?
I gave it a 4.5.
That's really good.
4.5.
Do we have
Paige
anyone?
gave it even higher than I did.
I just find that it's easy to get lost in. And I don't really stop and think. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but my brain does not deal well with having to stop multiple times to comment and do things. So I just don't.
Yeah. No, I and that's totally fair. It just helps me with my reading if I just stop and then I do it because I will never go back and then rewrite it afterwards. Like I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to do that because I'd want to spoil things.
I look forward to getting to that stopping point and being able to check in with everybody and see what they've said so far.
I like seeing what everyone said, but
Yeah.
I won't make
Don't
my
always
own.
have something to say. Yeah, that's okay. I think that's okay. And I hope other people feel like they don't necessarily have to comment either.
Well, I mean, Amanda read the entire thing.
Yeah, she did. She read the entire thing at the March, first day. Oh yeah, no, yeah. It was in March. It was in March. That's right. She got the months wrong.
Oh,
the first day of March.
Oh,
yeah,
I love
that's
her.
right.
Yeah,
gave it a 3.5. Gave Bone season 3. Okay, so Bert did like this one
better for Bert.
Better.
Yeah, I remember Bert saying that in the Discord.
Oh, okay. Sandy gave 4. Sandy, my neck and neck reading buddy.
That was so fun seeing the two of you.
We were reading we weren't even doing that on purpose. It just worked out like that. But she did sprint with me because I did dice sprints that one day and yeah, it's good stuff.
That was good. Yeah. Alicia was saying earlier and said it again for us. It's a low 3-star, but maybe the last 3 chapters will change.
And Alicia and I were talking about a little bit in Insta, and I said, just it took a while to get into for me.
Those moments in the last 3 chapters where I forgot who I was, I forgot where I was at, and I completely I was I was sucked in. So, I mean, I always give a book credit for that. Always.
I was really into the Rose Ring. That was awesome.
Yes.
And I know some
Yeah.
people don't like fights. I don't mind fight scenes so much. I don't get as bored with that. But this one in particular was so good. It did suck you in. Like, it
That's
was
one of
really
the
well
things
done.
that blows my mind is that I'm not typically the action person. Like,
Mm.
typically action, like, I zone out. This, I did not. I was there. It almost, like, reminded me of how I kinda got pulled in, like, when I read Hunger Games, you know? Like,
Mhm.
that kind of action, that kind of, like, because there's a whole 'nother, like, mental level to it, I think. I don't know. There was just a lot going on.
So what can we talk about it before Alicia has to jump off? Since that's
Before
not
we tell her,
spoilery.
"You don't
Yeah,
wanna hear
that we
this."
spoil everything for her.
Sandy appreciates your sprints.
Welcome.
Looking back over.
Sweet
So
start.
Stacey's here too. Woohoo!
Woo! Hello.
You didn't miss anything, Stacey, because
No,
we've been
we've
talking about other stuff the whole time.
been gabbing. Yeah.
I mean, starting out with the change in setting. Let's talk about that because that was a big deal for me. And that's like the very beginning, right? So we knew we were changing setting. I was a little worried about it because when I read Bone Season, the first 2 chapters were a drag and they were in London.
Yeah.
And I was like, then all of a sudden things changed. We went to Shoal 1 and I was like, yes! And I was like, yes! And now all of it was so good for me after that. And now we're back in London and I'm kind of, it dragged so long for me. I don't know. And I like London. I don't know why. I like that as a setting in books. I don't know why in this one I was less intrigued. Or what about the setting changed things for me?
I think, I don't know, based off your reading, I feel like it's that sort of the lack of power, sort of, and trying to raise up from the underdog is something that you just really vibe with. But when Paige was in a position of power as the the brain militia, there we go, that's the one. I actually remembered a word. Yay!
Yeah, words are hard.
Look at me going. She's no longer the underdog. Like, yeah, no one's believing what she says, but she's still like not having to be in the same sort of function as she was.
It felt a lot messier too. I don't know how that makes sense because Shoal 1 is obviously like a place where you don't know what's going to happen. But for some reason, London felt so much messier with the storyline in the beginning, where I'm like, what direction? There was a couple of times when we took changes happened, and I'm like, but wait a minute, I thought we were following this storyline, or something was going to happen, and then it completely changed. And yeah, maybe it is the change in her role. Her role is different now.
I also thought that probably having Jackson as
I don't mind Jackson. I like the ref fights. I think that's it, Alicia. I like those crazy voyants. the wild ones.
I felt like when she was in I don't know if it was like the market or if she was in kind of like where that lady who was like sheltering Agatha's like area.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
The Wreck and Bone Man area.
I liked the vibe of that. It almost felt kind of like night circusy to me, like where she would talk about like, you know, some of the smells and some of the
and getting the
the foods and like I don't know. I was there like atmosphere wise. Like I was there.
I really liked when she went to the slum area. What was that? Bernasby or
the island.
Yeah, Jacob's Island. That was a setting that was disgusting, like is the way that she described it. But like, I loved that. That part, I loved.
I loved
just
it.
such an underdog reader.
I guess that's what it is.
Yeah.
I need people to rise.
Be from the slums and rise to the top, bitches.
I guess so, because that loved that. Alicia, you and I, we're twins. We're twins.
What was
Alicia.
the lady's name that was kind of like their healer type lady? Do you remember her name?
Lottie? No. It was the other one. Starts with V.
Hang on. Oh God, can you still see me? Let me see if I can.
No, V is the guy's name that was there.
Oh yeah, Vern. That was the guy.
Was
that was the older guy. I just randomly came across that. I don't know. I went too far.
Was it that other?
What chapter was that in?
Ivy.
So I finally figured out who the I knew Ivy was the Jacobite.
Wynn Jacob?
I think that Wynn.
Mm.
I think she was the healer.
Oh, Wynn. Yeah. I like her. I like her character. Who did she remind me of? She reminded me of somebody. I don't even know, but I enjoyed her character.
Stacey has 49 pages left, but looking forward to the chat. And the setting, I thought it felt chaotic. I think it really did jump a lot. Like, we had the camp out where Paige was staying. We had the Ragged Bone Man section. We had Jacob's Island. We were starting on the train. We had the underground. Like, there was so many different places. Whereas for the Bone season, it really was just Shoal 1.
Yeah.
And a bit of London here and there.
I mean, I've read lots of books that have different settings, and I've liked it, or different focuses here and there, but maybe just the way this one was done, or maybe because I had my expectations set for Bone season, and then we come into this one that felt, like Stacey said, a little more chaotic. Maybe that it was tough for me to get into it for a while. But I did really that's why I'm giving it 3.75, because I did still really enjoy it. It's like, and to be honest with you, the way things have been lately for me, if I probably reread this at some point, I will probably like it more.
That's fair. I understand that.
I'm an idiot. There's a map in the front. Like a really detailed.
There's also a glossary and a cute little chart of who's what and everything.
Because I was so lost. Like, I sort of just ended up just like, yeah, cool. We're in a completely different section.
Cool. I never look at this thing.
I cannot believe that I had such a different. I really feel like the odd duck tonight, man.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm excited though. I'm so happy that happened. Honestly, Danielle, because I know you were so worried about this not being a successful series for you,
I was worried.
Yeah. I'm so happy that happened.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with the 3.75. For me, that's a good rating. So
yeah,
I don't feel bad at all. And I did that rose ring, without giving anything away. That rose ring is a phenomenal scene.
Do you feel like you got your Warden fix? That's what I want to know.
No, definitely
you didn't get enough of him. Okay, that's
I love that you and I are both.
Because it took 300 pages for him to come around. Wasn't it like 300?
They never actually. So they slept together, but they didn't sleep together. They just slept in the same bed together, right?
Yeah, there was just some caressing,
cuddling, and their auras meshed.
Oh,
I feel like, but really summed up where I was feeling with the change of settings. It
I
was
agree with that
so
part.
easy.
Chaotic setting was, but I thought it was a little odd how Paige managed to travel around all the places. Except there were times when she didn't. Remember, there were times when she was like with Warden, when all of a sudden she's like, "I'm so scared. I'm so scared." I'm like, "But you just sneaked through that area in like 10 minutes the last time you went
Well,
outside. How come this time
yeah.
you're nervous?"
And wasn't it this one that the one Vigil like got her and like she was with the like guy who puts out the pamphlets and stuff?
Yeah. She got her ass handed to her by fucking
Mhm.
Hector.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she got her ass handed to her many times.
True.
Poor
True.
Paige. I'm sorry, Paige.
I
Poor
think
Paige.
she
Are you
likes a
okay?
good beating.
Alicia says nothing wrong with the 3-star. Definitely didn't get the Warden fix.
Oh gosh.
No. I
What
need more
entertained me was the fact that in the first chapter thing, you're all like, "Where's Michael? Where's Michael?" And I
Michael
accidentally
never came back around, man.
no, and I
He's
looked it
coming
up
back.
by
Oh.
accident and spoiled myself for the
You did what?
future. So I was like, I'm just not gonna say nothing.
Oh, for the whole series?
No, just for him.
This one.
His
Oh, what
appearance
Michael
in
does.
these ones and
Oh no.
the beginning of the next one. So I was like, cool. Whoopsies, my bad.
Oh no.
And then I couldn't even remember who the fuck it was anyway.
I
was
mean,
like,
I
oh,
know
well.
he's got to come back, so I'm not worried about him. I was worried about Warden, though. Because we know I love Warden.
I feel like there was a lot of things that you had to just wait for it to make sense further on. Like the way that things were set out with the Seven Dials and the discussions on where this was with who and how this was connected. Like it didn't make sense initially. And Samantha didn't really walk you through it. It was, okay, wait and see how this plays out. Then it might make more sense. Which I feel like she does a lot. Like Priory and Day both have elements to that. She's not a writer that holds your hand the entire time. It's like, you're going to be confused as shit, so just go with it.
And honestly, I don't think that's the part that bothered me, because I do kind of like that, actually. I like figuring things out. That's like how I felt about fifth season. Fifth season, you have to be patient for the first 150 pages. And then all of a sudden, it starts making sense, and everything comes together. And there's definitely times, and there's still things in here that I'm like, I don't quite understand still, but I think we'll know even more come Song Rising. Because there's a couple of sections in here where you get a lot of information, and you're like, wait, what? The Warden telling her about the whole the Rephaim, how they came to be, and then how the humans, like that whole rift thing. And then there were a couple others where we learn a lot. Jackson told us a lot in one section, although he didn't tell us what. Anyways,
Oh, when we get started on Jackson, I will not stop. Somebody hold me back.
What else can we talk about that was earlier on?
Her relationship with Nick.
Oh, Nick.
Oh, well, we can't really talk about. Well, we can a little bit.
Nick loves Zeke.
Nick loves Zeke.
Because that comes pretty early on.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, like, you know what happens later.
Oh, yeah. I know. I meant more in the romantic sense.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I really love that.
I like the dynamic. And the fact that, like, there was a moment where she saw Nick kiss Zeke on the forehead after he'd been attacked, I think. And she was like, I feel like my heart was severed but healed.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, cool. I don't.
She finally like came to a place of acceptance, I think, at that point.
Well, and she did say at one point, like, I have never felt for Nick the way I feel about Warden. And she did say that. She said something like, it's never felt like this with Nick. Like, it was more of a, it was like the unrequited love. Like, she always felt the unrequited love with Nick. It never felt like it was a reciprocal thing.
Yeah.
And she noticed that. And I was like, good. And I'm glad that Nick gets to have Zeke, and they get to explore that.
Yeah, and I think it's like it was done in a really healthy way.
Yeah.
Like there's closure, there's
Mhm.
not like continual pining, even though he's like, I am really happy. Well, and she's just like, okay, I respect that. I can feel how things are meant to be with Warden, and that's not the same with you. And so I'm okay with this. I have closure. I'm not going to pine.
Well,
Because
and it was very. Oh no, sorry.
I was just going to say a lot of YA books don't do that. And
Yeah.
so it was refreshing to see it.
That
Having
could have
that.
been.
Yeah.
I really liked how much you can tell Nick cares about her, because he didn't just say, "Hey, I'm dating Zeke now." Like, he was very cautious and he made sure she was okay. Like, you could just tell how much he cares. Like, she is family and he
Yeah.
loves her and he wants to make sure that he doesn't hurt her any more than she's already been hurt, you know.
Yeah.
I just really liked that dynamic. Just I enjoyed it even more and more. Because I know that a lot of people were suspicious of Nick in the first book. And I was like, what the heck is wrong with you all? I'm just kidding.
No, I never felt that way about Nick, but I did feel that way about somebody.
I also found it interesting, his workplace. I'm trying to remember how far in.
I think that's pretty early in still. Isn't it? Yeah, it is. 110 pages is pretty close to the end. Let me look at the end.
Alicia, do you know about Nick's occupation and things?
What happened there?
Oh.
Okay, so 100 is 400, and 10 so 390-ish.
What chapter?
Are you talking about like what he witnessed there? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Without
the gray market. Oh yeah, so that was before the gray market.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, I found that like, and him like fully flipping his wig and panicking. I was like, oh my God, I just want to give you cuddles. It's okay. You're going to be okay. But
and then Jackson going, you got to go back to work. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
He's such a
there was so
caring
many things that I'm just like,
guy.
The juxtaposition between Nick and Jackson was so painful.
It made it really hard to understand why Nick stayed with Jackson.
Yeah.
I felt like Nick, though, really, really in this book, I could definitely tell whose side he was on. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We weren't surprised how the ending went.
Do what?
We weren't surprised how the ending went.
Oh, no.
And when Nick's currently
eyebrow wiggle. Cue the eyebrow wiggle.
Let's see, what is there we talk about at the beginning? Okay, so Rag and Bone Man.
Have to go if you don't want to get spoiled.
Let's talk about the Rag and Bone Man a little bit, because I had so many. Did you notice, like, every single time I was making all these wild, like, it's business.
It's a woman.
Yeah, I had a lot of different ideas of what the Rag and Bone Man was.
It's the abbess. It's the
Rephite. He was the boy. I thought it was the guy who caused the revolution to fail. I thought he was so many things.
All the things.
You thought he was so many things. Technically, we still don't know who he is.
I know. That's why. What'd you think of, like, his character? Like, what'd you think of? Because I mean, we don't really know much about his character, but what'd you think about, like, the addition of his character or his influence?
I just had a really crazy. really crazy thought. Whoa!
It spoiled the end.
Has anybody wondered, like, we haven't officially heard what happened to Paige's dad.
Well, we saw him in the coffee shop, remember?
Oh, you're right.
And he was with a lady that wasn't she a medium, or I thought she was a medium of
Who
some
was
sort.
the lady?
I don't know, but you could tell that she could tell that he was
He was
devastated.
emotional.
Probably.
We knew he was emotional. We do.
I kept wondering what he was thinking when Paige started being broadcasted on the, like, knowing she's alive. Like, I'm like, what?
That kind of gives us something to look forward to, because I'm like hoping against all hope that there's some kind of like big reveal, like revolved around the dad, like, and about, because we were all like, did he know? Did he know the whole time that she was clairvoyant? Like.
I thought he was working with Nick for a while, because they worked in this, like, working with him without Paige knowing, like.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I got really off track because we were trying to talk about the Rag and Bone Man, but like.
Oh, that's okay. I was just trying to bring up something that maybe wouldn't be spoilery.
I don't know what I think about the Rag and Bone Man. Like, did you get the impression that he's like unkempt? Like,
oh yeah, they said he was like
hygiene
just like
and
smells
such?
nasty and like really bad hygiene. I mean, well, and the Abbess is the one that said that a lot. But remember when? I guess, yeah. Wasn't her dad trying to tell her something that first night? I thought he was. That's why I thought.
Which first night?
In
Like
Bone
whenever
Season
he
1.
was like, "Oh, I'll make you pancakes and he called the pet name and everything." Oh yeah.
I mean, he definitely knew,
Why
right?
was he acting funny?
He knew the whole time, right?
Oh, he knows something.
He had to have known.
I'm curious as to.
We're so suspicious.
How this is all going to, like, what answers we're actually going to get in book 3 and 4, because this is going to be a 7-book series.
Wow.
So when are we going to get answers to this?
That seems rough.
Is she going to pull it out? She does that a lot.
Yeah, that's a good question. We're going to have to get some resolution to some things. Maybe not complete resolution to everything. That's a very good question.
Yeah, it sits with me when I'm reading series, being like,
how long is it going to take to find out? How long is it going to take to get more Warden? Huh? How long is it going to take? I really like Agneta Maria. She's a character that I want more of. Yeah, that's a character I like. I trust her. I want more of her. I think she would be a really badass character.
Yeah, I like her character too.
I don't know what Nadine's deal is. I still can't figure her out.
Not really seeing. Okay.
I think she just like wants to be in that like Molisher role, and like I think she wants it. I think she thinks that she deserves it, and like.
But her loyalty, and we find this out earlier that she's got a lot of loyalty to Jackson. Her loyalty to Jackson seems misplaced. Like, I don't understand where it's coming from, because she didn't have it before.
All of their
loyalties
to Jackson are misplaced.
Yeah.
Look at the Muse lady. What was her name again?
Eliza.
And
then Danica just seems to go where she thinks she can have the most fun doing engineering.
I love her. I love that. That is my vibe. You go where the chaos is.
I think we're gonna have to start getting into spoilers. So, Alicia, my dear Alicia, if you're still here, we are probably going to start dipping our toes in, because it's really hard to talk about some of these characters without talking about.
I've been trying
where things go, and I'm hoping that the last 3 chapters are really great for you.
Fingers crossed.
Enjoy.
Yahoo!
Okay.
One other non-spoilery
Spoiler.
thing. I fucking hated how long these chapters were.
Oh.
They were 20 pages each. Like,
And you know,
I
no.
can't talk about that. Stacey's
oh,
like,
Stacey too. Yeah, Stacey hasn't been at the end either. Stacey.
She wants to get spoiled.
I know. Shame. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you know, and I don't usually mind long chapters, but these long chapters were too long for me.
They were too.
I
Oh
mind
my
these long chapters.
goodness! Whoa! I feel so validated right now.
I'm such a
Wow!
jerk, aren't I?
No, I'm serious. Woo.
What did I pick up?
They were
after?
bad,
They
I
were
picked
long.
up Radiant Sin.
especially what was it like? Chapter 10? Wasn't that like
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
they
one?
just felt long too. They didn't
50
feel.
pages?
Yeah, some
They
long
dragged.
chapters don't feel long. What's Radiant Sins? What's that?
Katie Robert.
Oh.
I flew through it. I finished it in a
I
day.
made my way through Neon Gods.
I still
How'd you
haven't
go?
read Neon Gods yet.
How'd you find it? What did you think?
I gave it 3 stars. I feel like the audiobook could have potentially
Contributed to the problem.
negatively affected my rating because
No way.
I did not like it. I did not like her trying to do his voice. I did not like him
Yeah,
trying to do her voice.
yeah,
I could not take it seriously at all. I was like,
I think romance are the hardest place for me to enjoy audiobooks when it comes to characters playing the, you know, like both roles or something. Because sometimes, you know, it's like, and I struggle with romance especially because I'm like, that is not sexy.
Just have each narrator narrate each voice. Don't go from their perspectives.
Right.
And,
I agree. Yeah. Yes. Yeah,
I've
that really
now
threw me off.
got used to it, so I'm just like,
I thought like if I was reading this in my head, like if I was reading the physical book, I think I would have felt differently. But like, yeah, it just
and because they're like trying to do effeminate and masculine voices, and they're very much not.
like he was making her sound like an idiot, and she was making him sound super freaking creepy. Like, oh my God. Like, no.
And so they looked over there, and then I licked his foot, and it was great.
Yeah, exactly. Better in my head. Yes, it would have been better in my head.
But very short chapters. Very short
like
chapters.
That. We do like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed. The chapters were too long.
Way too long.
Okay.
Spoil.
How
many ways can I say this? I want to be spoiled, okay?
We're gonna hold it out, Stacey. We're gonna make you wait for it.
So Jackson, eh?
That mother trucker.
So he was the one that caused that made the revolution fail. He was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
She said 20 years ago he was my ally. So he had to be the one that caused the revolution to fail. Revolution, or what is it?
This would explain why he wasn't, even kind of surprised about
the red fights, which we were saying. Why does he not seem surprised?
Unleash me on Jackson. That dirty dog. He is a POS. Like, no.
Really bad.
Never I ever, even for 1 minute, been Team Jackson. Never.
I haven't either, but I didn't think he was the guy to work with Nashira. Like, to be like, hey, Nashira, let's be buddies and work together,
Well,
I didn't think that.
Back with her just because of how things went down with Paige?
But what I don't understand is, where is all his money going? That's something that I still, like, where is all that money going? Because it's going somewhere, and I feel like there's something having to do with that money. Like,
why are we having to drink to cope? Why?
Right.
I just think he's an alcoholic.
But he's been drinking a lot more recently.
Every night. Yeah.
They're currently working on a development for the Sun Shield. which would
Oh.
require a lot of funding.
You think? No.
I reckon.
The theories.
No. That
Mm.
what bugs me so much is how many of these freaking underqueens, underlords were all supporting this Rephaim regime. Like, they all know about
How
it.
many were
They're all
part of
supporting
the
it.
gray market?
Yeah. And these are their people. They're so disgusting. They're all so disgusting. It just makes me so angry. I didn't realize it was that corrupt. I did not realize it was that corrupt.
You can't have a story like this and it not be.
It's so like smashed pages, like perfect little family
Oh, I
acceptance.
know.
I belong. Like it's all to
That
smithereens.
broke
Like, it's
me.
nothing.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
I was kind of like, see, Paige.
You know, like, okay, obviously there is something to that because like we've got Nick, we've got Eliza, like we do have family, and like we've even made family, like with
But when you lose your OG
Joss and
family, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh. But then she's still got most of it, so.
yeah.
Anyway, that's just a theory. I don't know.
I'm
And
getting
how
really,
the hell is Jackson that strong? I still don't get it.
he can not only not only have these spirits like at his disposal, and they can like do unleash their own fury, like he can like direct them, like he can like say
Well,
like you are going to specifically do this,
and
not
he can bind your spirit.
that
Yeah,
that was
was
about to
next
be
level.
really bad.
It
But
reminded
he
me of the
didn't know her real
bloodbending in
name.
Avatar.
He didn't know her middle name was how do you say it?
Paige something Mahoney.
I looked it up because would she change it to Eva?
Mm-hmm.
But it was originally I can't think of it.
Aoife.
Aoife. Okay, yeah. That's a very.
That's how you pronounce it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Aoife is Aoife.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I know some people named Aoife. Actually, I know a few people named Aoife. Isn't that funny?
It's a common Irish name.
But like, I've never met
not
anybody else in
Irish.
my life
Is it Irish?
named Aoife. Just up here in Washington.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's Irish. Yeah, it's Irish.
Yeah. What a dick.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm so frustrated with Nadine, because now Zeke has to go work
Zeke
for the
could have not.
Refine. I know
He
he
doesn't
not.
have to.
He doesn't have to, but he's gonna choose his sister.
See, that was something that was like frustrating for me because I don't believe that just because you're family, you're obligated to
I agree.
stay with them.
yeah.
So I was like,
I
just
had trouble
please
with it.
be with your love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it's against what you believe in, and you've got your family that really loves you, and meaning like your found family.
Found family. Yeah.
And it's against what he believes.
Mm.
It's against what he believes.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I can't imagine he's going to stick around for long with, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe Nadine will come crawling back with Zeke. Like Zeke will convince her to leave Jackson.
I don't like her. I don't care about her. Stay away, Nadine.
She can die. I don't care.
I don't like her.
I don't like her.
I don't like her.
Earth's mean.
Yeah. It's frustrating because she doesn't even care what Zeke wants, Like she didn't think about him once in this whole thing.
She's so self-centered.
She's very self-centered. Yeah. Wow. So the only person alive from that group, though, of underlords and underqueens is the Rag and Bone Man. Oh, what? And
I just was thinking, I had a thought earlier and then I lost my thought because we got talking about something else. But I did want to say that I am really excited about Paige like getting a semi handle on her abilities and like
Mm.
learning to dance and like leave a
That
little
was
bit of her
so
spirit
cute.
behind and like
That was a good warden scene. A good page and warden scene.
Yeah.
little like Beauty and the Beast kind of feeling.
100%. That is exactly what I was thinking the entire time I was reading their
Isn't it
dynamic.
though? Like with the flower and the flower like coming back alive and like
The
remember? Like
yeah.
the amaranth. Well, it wasn't the amaranth. It was it the
poppy.
anemone or the poppy.
Is this a
anemone?
retelling?
I don't know, but like
I think it's inspired
Reimagining?
by different aspects.
Mm.
Like I don't think they've
Because
said
the beast keeps her, and he kept her in the first book. He wouldn't give her back.
let's see. Let's Google it. Oh.
And Jackson is like
Pandora's-
Gaston. Except she never liked Gaston.
let's not.
I'm not going to
insult
say
Gaston.
that. I'm not going to mention that. Partly a retelling of George and the Dragon.
George and the Dragon. Never heard of it.
I don't think I have either.
Oh.
Well,
Okay, I gotta stop looking.
you
at
better stop because you're
You're
gonna
gonna-
spoil yourself.
Yeah.
Ivy.
Oh yeah, I did want to kind of
What
talk about Ivy.
I just want to give her a big hug.
So somebody refresh me about like what exactly happened because I know she was like helping the bad guys. Did she realize she was helping the bad guys?
Yes.
Yes.
And
So she
what
was the
her
Jacobite, which
motivation
was
again like, was it a survival thing or was it like
yes. She was the Jacobite. I didn't realize who the Jacobite was until later. I couldn't remember who that was. And that was the Rag and Bone Man's second Molisher.
okay.
He had a Molisher. Then he had the Jacobite who disappeared or went away or stepped down. She was sent to Shoal 1 by him. And then he got his more recent one who was his most something French.
Yeah.
So
And go ahead.
so Ivy was originally like helping them with the gray market and like with like sending people there and then like somehow she wound up having to get sent there too.
Yeah. So she had found out about the gray market and what it was, and she had to do it because the Rag and Bone Man's was her thing, her Mime Lord.
Yeah.
And what her and Cutthroat did to try and balance the fact that they knew they were doing something wrong was they sent bad guys, like quote unquote, bad guys in the syndicate to Shoal 1. So they were sending people who had killed other people or had done things that were not good. So they were attempting to take this horrible thing they were doing and in their minds, I guess, make it right. But they still knew it was wrong. Like no matter what, it was wrong.
Yeah.
And then she got found out for telling Hector, like tattletaling. Not tattletaling. Sorry, I'm around kids. And then Rag and Bone Man sent her to Shoal 1 because Hector joined, of course, because he's a jerk. But I think she tattletaled. Well, she told to Hector,
that the gray market was even a thing.
And then Hector's like, "Yay! I'm gonna come join. Let's send Ivy to Shoal 1 because maybe she'll tell somebody else." Like that's what Rag and Bones Man did.
Yeah, all that was a little bit muddy for me, but okay, that makes sense.
It happened pretty quickly in the story. Like, we get that revelation pretty fast. That's another one of those areas where a lot of information was being dropped at that same time. I felt bad for Ivy, but I'm glad they all came when they came, because otherwise Paige was not going to have any power. Nobody would have trusted her and believed her, because the Abbess had this sort of a legacy for being this elegant, honest.
It was next level bullshit.
The emim and like the ice and like the the cold spot and like Eliza finding out and Paige being like, "Do you believe me now?" And Eliza's like, "Yeah, I believe you now."
Hmm.
That was all.
I know, because I was really frustrated with
Yeah.
Eliza, and I couldn't tell if she would be loyal to Paige
I
ever.
I
I
felt
wasn't. I didn't trust her for a while.
I felt like the part where, like, you know how she kept disappearing and she was crying and she was just like a hot mess for a minute and we were all like speculating like why is Eliza like falling apart, and then it wound up being her like family or the people who like raised her or helped take care of her or whatever. Somebody was sick and like
Yeah.
that I felt like that part was like a little bit out. Like I don't know. That part felt a little bit like disconnected to me or like just did that really need to be there? You know, kinda I didn't totally understand that, but
Well, especially because it led us to believe that she was involved in so many other things. Like she
yeah,
had such a much bigger role in all
to
this.
throw us off like, I could see that, like, if the sole purpose was, like, to throw us off or I don't know. There was a point when, like, Paige was, like, talking about how, you know, them having, like, a life outside of their little their little circle, their little, 7 seals thing or yeah. So, I don't know.
Isn't that funny about Jackson? Like he just thinks he's got this perfect little seven seals, and nobody's allowed to have relationships, and they all are having some sort of relationship or have, you know. And I'm like, I don't know. Jackson's just a piece of work. Did he get Paige sent to Shoal One? He wouldn't have done that, would he? I mean, in the beginning, at that time, because she knew. You think so?
Yes, I do.
Oh, yes, because he wanted her to be better at her
To
skill.
get trained,
Yes,
don't you remember? Yes, I
that's
I
right.
was so
Sorry, I yelled at everybody.
about all that. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, well, I just think you all should go there so that, Warden can just train you about." I mean, he didn't
So
say
he
Warden, but like
intentionally sent her.
I mean, we don't know that for a fact, but like I can connect the
I
dots.
think we know that for a fact.
I can connect the dots like
Especially considering, like, when he said that, I was like, that is the worst thing to say. I wish you could have all gone there. That's horrible. So, oh, wow. My brain just exploded, everybody.
I'll be right back.
okay.
Okay. Wow. What a jerk.
He's bad.
He's really bad.
And I know he's bad, but like also I want some of these like motives and these like hidden things about him to be revealed. Like I want to know. Like even if I think it's stupid, like I want to know what he thinks his reasoning is for being the way that he is and doing the things that he does. Like
Well,
ugh.
especially considering he had such a hard upbringing, you know, and he had to do everything for himself growing up, right? Because he didn't have anybody to take care of him. He was living on the streets, and he
That's
had to rise up.
yeah, but that's one of those things like I
He's just
don't know.
done it all very dishonestly.
Yeah, you know, sometimes when you rise up out of those situations like it can go it can go this way, it can go like over here like toward the light and toward the right and the good, or it can go like this way where I'm like freaking
Yeah,
selfish and narcissistic and like dark and conniving and plotting
those
and
words
scheming and just all these bleh.
sound like Jackson.
I just don't
Yeah,
I just
I
don't
didn't
know.
expect it to be that bad. I didn't honestly didn't expect it to be that bad. Um, wow. Well, that's a bummer. I mean, just that it was that like for Paige. Like I'm thinking about things for Paige because she did at some point really care about him because he did give her a place to be, a place to feel important and loved.
You know what's funny?
Mhm.
Like Paige is okay, but like I still don't feel like overly connected to her.
No, I don't
Like,
either.
I think I'm more like invested in the overall like plot at this point, which is crazy for me because I'm such a character reader. But like, yeah, really
Yeah,
weird.
Paige isn't quite doing it for you. We love our Paige.
We
Yeah,
do.
I think Paige does irritate
She's
me
a
a
little
lot.
monkey.
Not you, Paige. Paige Mahoney. She just, and not because of the whole YA thing. I think it's more.
Hey guys, are our comments broken again? I'm gonna go on and make sure they're not broken. Nobody's commenting. Okay.
They're just enraptured by our spoilery discussion. Yeah, she's one of those characters that she's not a very. I feel like her. I don't know how to explain it. Her choices are so this or that. Like sometimes I agree with her, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I can see why I would like her, sometimes I don't. So it's very like hot and cold, hot and cold.
She is so reckless, and she
Yes.
no
Yes. Yes.
self-preservation whatsoever, none.
No.
And like we don't get a whole lot of like what is she feeling? Like we're not really like there's
In
not
her
a whole
head
lot
that
of
much.
depth. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't
Half the time I'm going, what is she thinking?
She's
Oh,
not
I think that all the time too.
I don't know that
We
she
don't know.
is necessarily. Like,
I'm like, Warden, hun, you can do better. No, I'm just kidding.
Like me.
like, would you
Sorry.
guys just die if I said I'm not even like that in love with Warden? Like,
You said you were in the first. You like that was the only part you liked in the first book.
it was. It was.
But
But
he wasn't
I mean,
in this book.
I don't know. I'm
He
like,
doesn't have your heart like
I'm
Matthew.
really, really trying to figure myself out right now as a reader. Like, who am I?
Well, see, you flip flopped so much, Danielle, with this book. I don't know.
Uh,
Because I genuinely thought you were going to give it like a 2-star.
at first, I mean, I don't know. This is
Yes, 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 yes. I think that is that, and it really made me nervous going into the Rose Ring, going into when she had to address everybody after the Rose Ring, and like how are people going to believe in her because she does not elicit confidence as a leader type.
okay. Yes, but Paige, like, also she recognizes like what could potentially be a problem to their little world where like the people who were previously leading like that either wasn't on their radar or it was working to their own like agenda, you know?
She's not corrupt.
Yeah.
I think
But
I could. Sorry, go ahead. But
and I think she'd like just like about got the crap kicked out of her, like, and then like, okay, now I need you to function all of a sudden and like lead these people. So I don't know, but that's gonna be, why am I even standing up for Paige right now? I have no idea. But she's gonna need. It's all about like who she's gonna surround herself with and like who she's gonna have like help her.
yeah.
In
I
her
think it's because she holds her cards so close to her chest. Like, we didn't know how strong she was until we saw what she did in the Rose Ring. We thought she was going to fail to Jackson because it really seemed like it was that. And then all of a sudden she's like, I already know what I'm doing. And she swooped in there and she took over Jackson's body. And I feel like there are times when, not necessarily at this point, I'm not necessarily talking about when we're at the actual battles and stuff. I'm thinking when she's trying to organize. When she's trying to bring people together, where she just seems so unsure of herself at times. And you're like, you can't be unsure of yourself when you're trying to get an army together, when you're trying to get people to believe in you, and like, I really didn't like where that Penny Dreadful went, because I felt like that was such a hit, and yet it didn't really go anywhere. Like, it didn't go anywhere. That big hit in that moment felt so extreme, and it felt like a big blow for Paige's part of the battle, and then it kind of just got swept under the rug.
No, I thought that, like, the fact that it got rewritten, at first, it was like, "Oh, this is so terrible." But then it wound up working to her advantage, because when the Refame, like, showed up at the Rose Ring, like, nobody was afraid of them.
I don't know. That kind of felt a little.
Not right.
There wasn't enough satisfaction for me there with that particular thing.
I liked the part where they were like, "Okay, are you to be feared, or are you to be," what was the alternative? Respected or something?
Worshipped.
Worship. Both. Yeah, like, I don't
And
know.
then Paige is like, not worshipped. I did like that. I thought that was
Feared,
great.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't like Paige. I'm just saying she makes it difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't think she's necessarily the star of the show. Like, you
Well,
know.
then who is, though? Because you're not feeling that about Warden either.
No, I
I'd
don't
like to see Nick become the main protagonist.
I like
love
Nick.
Nick.
He won't, but
I'm starting to like Eliza more. I'm starting to like her more. She's growing on me.
yeah.
It's definitely one where, like, the characters are very, like, dependent on each other, like, to shine,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
It's them as a group that make it, not each individual one, which
Yeah.
is like Luna Chronicles. Each of them stood on their own and then made a delightful found family.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so awesome. I love that.
Lunar
That is a
Chronicle.
fantastic found family. Like, that group is one of my favorite found families, I think. I think so.
Excellent.
So does that mean that the Vile Augurs are no longer going to be placed in Jacob's Landing or Jacob's Island and kept separate from? I thought that was so horrible. That whole scene made me so upset, because I was like, they are doing
Oh, yeah.
exactly what the Refame were doing.
Yeah, finding out, like, what an influence Jackson's, like, pamphlet was, like, the obscure writer or whatever, and what was the name of the thing? I don't anyway,
Yeah.
it like, to find out how it, like, segregated them, and just how unfairly it, you know, categorized their gifts, like, and to say one is better than the other, like, I don't know, there was just so much, like, morally that just felt wrong about that. So, so wrong.
On the merits of unnaturalness.
The merits of unnaturalness.
He
Yeah.
was an obscure writer. Yeah. It did. It did. That part made me really angry, and it was definitely paralleled what was happening in Shoal 1. I'm like, Paige, don't you see that you thought this was home and you were coming back to a better place? It is exactly the same, if not worse in some ways, because it's the people you trust, or supposed to feel like you trust, doing the exact same thing to their own people. It just was, and I'm glad that she started seeing that, because that was awful. That was awful. Yeah. That made me sad. Cutmouth, what'd you think of her?
I'm
She's
sad
pretty
she
cool.
died. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sad
really
she
wish
died.
we had gotten more of her.
That was a huge waste. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked her character.
So who do we think the Rag and Bone Man actually is? Because he's still out there. Everybody else is dead, thank goodness, but he's still out there.
Well, we talked about the two people that were like significant in the previous like uprising or whatever, and one was a
Child.
child and one was a traitor or whatever. I don't know, but
Jackson.
that maybe it's the other one. Maybe it's I don't
And
know.
his aura was not readable. But not like the way Zeke's was unreadable, right? It was completely different, wasn't it?
Yeah. Zeke lost his aura through trauma.
Yeah, he was what like what they say previously, like a whisperer or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And then, but the Rainbow Man was just.
I think that he had the it wasn't Amaranth, it was the other one that they can grow in the Netherworld that they said you can use to manipulate auras. To like
That
hide
makes
your
sense.
aura. So then who's giving him that? Must be like Nashira and them, right?
Probably.
And then why does Abbas have Nashira's poltergeist? So like did Nashira, because the Abbas wasn't actually going to be in the scrimmage. So like I'm curious why Nashira had given the Abbas her poltergeist. Like did she think it could come down to that or something like that?
Nashira probably had so many mechanics working in the background, she was just covering every aspect. Because she really was a backseat character, this book.
She really was.
But she's got her hands in everything.
But we like suspected her the whole time. Like everything is Nashira. This has to be Nashira's fault. This has to be Nashira's minion, you know.
It was Nashira, obviously. Ugh. What'd you think of the Ranthan? Carabelle and Arai and
that Arai guy, he's like, ooh, he's prickly.
He was. It's gonna make it hard for our friends Paige and Warden to have a relationship. Because it kind of seems like Terabelle likes him too. Remember, she put her head up to his head and was like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even pick up on that.
Oh yeah, Paige gets all like, what are you doing touching my man? She didn't say anything, but she
couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, she couldn't, but she definitely had a, ugh, my heart.
I kill you.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a difficult, union, or not union, but what do you call it? Not collaboration. What do you call it when? No, I mean like between the Ranthan and the Mime Order.
Yeah, collaboration works.
Allyship. Allegiance.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be tricky.
Yeah.
I don't think because they still hate humans.
So the Ranthan. Anybody want to like explain that to me? They're on the same team as Warden.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like the original leadership, maybe?
Kind of. So, from what I remember, because that was an area where they gave us a lot of information, there was the original family, and I don't remember what they were called, but they were the people that were in charge. And Warden's family, or Warden's people, were the guards for those people, like the personal bodyguard sort of things. And the original leaders wanted to start sending Rephites through to help usher the spirits across. But like, you can't go through and actually collaborate with humans or anything like that. Well, one of their family did go, snuck through the fold or what the netherworld, and started interacting with humans. And I don't know if that means they started making babies, because how did they start becoming voyants? Like, does that mean they started making babies? What do you think?
I don't know.
So this relationship that nobody agreed with, started. And after that, all of a sudden, all the Rephites were able to go through. Because remember, before they weren't able to go through. Only that special leading family was able to go through to the human world. And the Sargus wanted to take over everything. The Ramthin didn't want to, because they felt it was unhealthy and unnatural to have anything to do with the humans. Like, we shouldn't be here anyways. We shouldn't be intermixing in any way, whether or not it's taking over or just in any way. We should be completely separate from them. And then the Sargus were like, "No, this is a great situation." Plus, the Rephaim were having a harder time staying in the Netherworld, right? They can't, and then now they can't even go to the Netherworld anymore, or they can, but like they can't stay there, or something like that. I don't quite understand that. That's one part where I'm still a little fuzzy on it.
Yeah, that all, like, I just completely space out on. I'm like, I cannot follow it at all. I'm like, I have no idea.
But the Ramthin have always been against the Sargus taking over. For one, they don't believe that they should have anything to do with the humans or be interacting with and two, they don't want the Sargus to get that much power either, because they think that because the Sargus now want to take the barrier between human world and the netherworld away, and they're all afraid of what's going to happen if that happens. But the Sargus, I think, just want to have ultimate power and do whatever the hell they want. That's what I got. Did you get that page?
To an unstable level, a cataclysm will occur, and it will destroy everything that they know. So that Rathan are like, please don't do that. Like, let's get this veil back to a stable level so that the humans can have the clairvoyancy, and also we shut the fuck up and leave them alone. So.
And we still have no idea where the MM came from.
Yeah, no.
I still believe they're dead. They're the opposite of Rephites. The undead version of Rephites. But that
makes sense.
Something we're not going to find out yet.
The Rephite zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I hold true to my prediction. Does that make sense? Did that make sense, Danielle? Is that right?
Oh.
Because that section was dense.
It was.
Yeah, I don't know. I may have to like try to understand it again when I'm,
I'm sure it'll come back.
Awake. Maybe I need to sleep on it. I need to let it all process and yeah.
It definitely was an info dump.
Yes. Yeah. And
isn't that funny? Maybe that's why I don't realize when an info dump is an info dump, because I just like completely space out. Like, doesn't even affect me because I'm not paying attention.
I would call that an info dump. That was an info dump, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Amy has been able to positively identify an info dump.
And the section with Jackson when he dumps, that's an info dump.
And Ivy.
And Ivy, that's another info dump. I'm getting so dark.
You have a nice tan.
Thank you. I know. All of a sudden,
there you go.
Oh.
had to Okay, so we had 3 big info dumps in this book.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was more, but I just can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were the main 3 that actually provided enough context for it to continue.
There was probably
Okay.
one in Jacob's Island too, honestly.
Yeah.
I like that section. I didn't mind that.
Cutmouth history was an info
Oh my
dump,
god.
and the way
What?
they just talked through.
I'm awake.
Cutthroat.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But it wasn't a big info dump. It was just a couple of paragraphs.
I mean, and it's all information I want to know. It just did felt, especially the warden one, felt like, whoa, my brain was not ready for that.
Where is this coming from? Why are you saying it in such a way that feels like you're writing out a textbook history recount?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one in particular, I remember the most as being like, I feel like I need to know this information and it's not going to stick.
It's not going in a way that is helpful to my brain.
Yeah. Danielle, that was a holding in kind of yawn.
I'm like afraid people are taking shots every time I yawn, so I'm like trying not to.
We'll put that in the description of the next one.
Take shots every time Danielle yawns. Yeah. What else? What else, friends? Anything else? Oh, so what is Frank Weaver then? They keep acting like he seems like a robot. Do you think he actually is a robot?
They can like that's why I kept being like, oh, this person is like Nashira, or like somehow being like controlled by Nashira. I feel like they have this ability to like
Just control the people.
influence. Yeah, like
Jackson's power.
like Jackson's power. Oh,
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know exactly where I picked up on that, or if I just like made that up, but like I just feel like that's a possibility.
Now Paige is doing it.
Oh, it's
It's my lunchtime.
Your stomach's like, I'm hungry.
She's hungry. I haven't had supper yet, and it's 9:18 at night.
I know. I'm getting hungry too. It's 7. Well, I mean, we still have so much more to go. Well, we do, but we also don't have the next 3 for however many years.
2028.
We're just gonna enjoy the ride for as long as we can, and this will give us something to look forward to. We will revisit it when they come out, and we'll all refresh each other's memories, and it'll be good.
I'm also part of. I've joined the Discord for the Readalong that happened with Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm. I know she loves the series.
Yeah, so there's a lot of comments in there on each of the different books if you do ever want to look over stuff to sort of
Okay, that'd be cool.
rejig the brain.
Freshen up.
The 5th one is currently untitled and expected publication for 2024. 6th one, 2026, and there's no release date for book 7. But Samantha Shannon has said that she didn't want to do it in a trilogy like most dystopians because she wants to explore it on a global scale.
Okay.
I mean, we expect that, right? Oh, a global scale.
A global scale.
Outside of London. Outside of
But
Sion.
that makes sense, though, because Shoal
They
2
were
was supposed to get open in France or whatever, right?
It'll have to be global because you have to take out this whole threat.
Yeah.
All around the world.
I hope they come to Australia.
He's going to be like, hey, friends! Come on over! Wow, yes. Yeah. I mean, it really did, like, I did still really enjoy a good portion of this. And like I said, it might have just been me. Like, I don't know that I would give it too much more than a 4-star, but like I might actually bump it up to a 4-star if I read it at a time when I wasn't feeling so brain tired.
We didn't say anything about Paige being the Black Moth. I loved that part. I loved that part where she like entered herself as this other person, and then they were like, "Oh, that person didn't show up," and then like once they took out everybody else, then she's like, "Oh, I'm the Black Moth," and then now that she's like leading, she's the Black Moth, and like I don't know, I think it's super fun.
Where did we get the Black Moth from again?
Like, okay, so you know how she kept talking about the moth and the
Oh, the
flame
one
and
that
like
yes, the first thing she ever took over, right?
was it?
Yeah.
It
No,
was the
it was no. Didn't she first go in that deer?
I just remember there's being some reference with like the refame about like
I think the moth is the first thing she ever
him
controlled. She got
being
into
the
the
moth and like
deer's perspective, but I think the moth was the first thing she ever actually controlled.
okay.
Sorry, it's so weird.
Paige is researching.
Don't spoil yourself.
I'm stopping at the thing. It just has it on a thing.
I thought there was some kind of like saying that was happening whenever she was in Shoal about like you know how a moth is like attracted to a flame and like
is an echo of the speech that Sargas gives Paige about how humans are like moths. At the time, they were pointing out the weak, pitiful, self-destructive nature of humanity, but Paige appropriates to the illusion to a short-lived life that ends in fire, matching her determination to bring down Sion, even if it means sacrificing herself.
well I couldn't have worded it like that, but that's what I meant, right
It's
there all that.
queer! I forget she's queer!
Who is?
Paige, she's demisexual. She can
Oh,
only
is she?
feel sexual attraction to those she has a deep emotional bond with.
Oh.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
Well,
I
then
did
that makes
know
sense
that.
why she is really uncertain about her feelings about Warden.
Mm.
That makes sense.
And why they were like, it's like you've been, what's the Stockholm syndrome?
Oh, you're in love with this guy who was treating you so terrible and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's like, well, obviously she's been through a fuck ton, so obviously she would have a close
Well, and they've been
relation.
through a lot together because,
Oh, that makes me
and
happy.
it wasn't like she just all of a sudden was like, "Hey, Warden, now all of a sudden I like you." It took her a long time to start trusting him and stuff. So it wasn't. They just saw what they saw when she came back from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like whenever he like explored her memories and like you know, she showed him like that whole thing that happened with when she like almost had sex in an alley with that dude or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I think, you know, I think she allowed herself to be very vulnerable then, and I think there definitely could have
Yeah.
been some emotional connecting at that point.
Oh yeah. I think emotional connecting was happening.
Jackson's just a dick. Sorry.
Mhm. He really is, you know. And now we know to what extent. Now we know to what extent. Ugh. At that very last scene where she's like, "Come in, my friend." Ugh.
She freaking ended the book with him calling her "Oh my lovely,"
My
and I just
lovely.
want to like stab my eyeballs out or something. Like,
Yeah, because
I
he like kept
hate it when
kissing
he
her on
does
the
that.
cheek and
I hate it. I hate that. Bleh. Bleh.
yeah. Yeah. Not a good guy. Not a good guy. Yeah. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
In July. And Paige isn't ready yet because it's got to come to her.
I probably need
And I
to.
got to order it.
I probably need to order a copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. Yes, it should be
Lots
fun.
of good things happening in July. We're gonna read the song Rising, and I'm gonna have a birthday that I may or
Yeah.
may not be spending with Amy. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's right. I don't remember anything right now.
It's fine. I'll just show up on your doorstep and
Like, hey, how's it going? Oh, hi.
What day is it? What month is it? What year is it?
I don't know anything right now. Honestly, I don't know anything right now. I will know in July what's going on. I don't know anything at the moment. There's nothing working up here.
it's okay.
I never have anything working up there.
That is not true.
Ugh.
There goes our cat. Oh,
Cat.
our cat's running across the street.
Isaac, don't die.
Little booger.
Booga booga booga.
He likes to go over to our neighbor's house because our neighbor puts out cat food for somebody else. And of course, our cat's like, oh, what's over here?
That was a good Isaac
Hmm.
impression.
Oh.
I never knew he was so dapper.
That's not how I picture Isaac. Half the time I picture him like, what? What's going on over there? How come you're not paying attention to me? Why does a dog always want more attention than me?
Really annoyed. Isaac is like really annoyed.
We also joke about him cursing a lot. We go because we always say like did he just say fuck you? I'm like, it's because he's from the streets. He was we got him as a stray cat from the streets, and they're like, he can't help it. He's trying to change his ways, but he's a little street cat.
He still hasn't acclimated to.
Yeah, he's teaching Cece all these really, really bad words.
Don't corrupt Cece.
It always shocks us when Cece's cursing us out. We're like, what? Cece must have learned it from Isaac.
You're not supposed to know those dirty words. You precious little angel.
I know, she is too. So it's very surprising when she, uses that language. You can tell that we have no life.
I would never think that or say that.
Out loud.
I mean, my cats, I make up little conversations with them too, so it's fine.
I might not say it, but my face probably will.
I relate to that. My face is such a traitor. Gosh, why?
Yeah. Well, should we all have lunch/dinner?
Yes.
Because I don't think there's anything else we can say at this point.
Exhausted our thoughts.
No brain.
At this point, we've got Jackson in a place of power next to somebody who has the most power, Nashira, and Paige coming into her own. And she has the support of the people who are not corrupt.
Yeah. I'm so curious to see where this goes.
I was going to say, I cannot even begin to guess. I have no idea.
And how do you make it worldwide, global?
Curious.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Thanks, BookStara. Thanks, BookStara.
We're here.
Whip, 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 whip.
Have fun with those last 49 pages now, Stacy.
Yeah. You're going to love it.
And there we go. Oh, it takes a long time for the comments to come through.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, bye, Bert. We're glad you're
Thank
here.
you. Have a lovely night, everyone.
Have a lovely night.
Bye.